So we come to track 4, which is Say It With Your Chest, which is part of my Slow Burner EP, forthcoming on the 26th of August. And this one, this one's quite personal to me anyway, because it's about something that I just can't make sense of whatsoever, especially in this day and age. But also it stems from a situation, 3 situations actually. I had 2 attempts of being robbed on me, and also just a situation where I'm chilling out with my friends, do you know what I mean, and we get into it. And the main thing that seemed to set me off about these 3 situations was the fact of one word, and it's a horrible word, and I'll put out a parental advisory warning now, because I'm gonna say this word more times within this video than I've probably ever said it in my life. But it's just to get the actual point across. I'm not going to talk about the actual track itself, even though it does centre around 3 situations. You'll hear about it when you hear the track, but I'll talk about the point that I'm actually trying to make. So, the word itself is nigger, yeah? So obviously, from knowing the word now, and from me being a black man, obviously I'm got to have my own opinions on it. It stems from, slavery from 400-500 years ago, how horrible situation that black people were put in against their will, do you know what I mean? And that word was used as a derogatory word against black people. I'm not sure where it actually came from or whatever, I'm not gonna get into a whole history lesson about it, but that's where that word comes from. But today, personally, I think it's a horrible word anyway. I don't use it. I'll be honest, in certain situations I do find the word funny, like in certain sort of like stand-up comedy and stuff like that. People are talking about where they come from and things like that. It's funny because it's somebody's life, and that is part of their life. But now, in terms of, let me put it to you like this. I don't understand this whole taking the power back sort of theory that's behind it. And obviously it's gone on for so long and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I kind of, to a point, get the whole term of endearment side of things, but really, like, you gotta use a word like that. You gotta use nigger as a term of endearment, do you know what I mean, to your fellow man or woman. But yeah, I to a point, I get the whole term of endearment. I call some of my mates dickheads all the time, do you know what I mean, or muppets, or do you know what I mean, flassies and all that kind of stuff, do you know what I mean. So I can get that side of things. But on a whole, I don't get the whole taking the power back from it. I don't get the whole, you know what I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me at all. Reasons why: it's a horrible word. It's a horrible word. It's come from such animosity and evil, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't see how anybody would really think, you know what, I'm gonna take that word and trying to make it into something nice. No matter what, whenever you hear that word, yeah, like, you are going to think of, racism. You are going to think racism straight away. You are going to think of slavery. That's where that word comes from, no matter in whatever situation. Even if you are taking it as, yeah, that's my brethren, that's my nigger, something's still got to click in the back of your head when you hear the word nigger. Slavery, people getting whipped, cotton fields, do you know what I mean, house niggas, do you know, like the colour purple, the Django Unchained, do you know, you gotta think of slavery. It's automatically like it's attached to that. So no matter how you try and turn it into a nice thing, it's still got that attached to it. Like it came from a horrible situation. Secondly, really, like, let me be devil's advocate here. Yeah, I'm of another race, right? I'm not gonna pick it. I'm of another race. Yeah, I don't like black people. Yeah, okay. Hypothetically speaking, yeah. I'm not Uncle Ruckus out of the Boondocks or anything like that, but I don't like black people. Yeah, let's just say I'm of another race. Yeah, and I don't like black people. Laws have come in, political correctness and all that kind of stuff, that which prevents me from being racist. Yeah, otherwise I'm going to get into trouble if I say certain things or if I do certain things. Right, but I'm looking at, you know, this race that I hate. I can't stand them. I want them to get out of my country, get back on their banana boats or whatever. And when I look at him, all I see is this hippity hop music, this black jungle music, but they're all calling each other nigger. So me as a racist now, okay, I'm not allowed to say anything, but they're calling themselves what I would like to call them anyway. I might as well just sit back and just let them, you know, let them just be racist to themselves. They're doing my job for me. Do you know what I mean? They're highlighting themselves as niggers. They're proclaiming themselves to be this racial term that I want to use against them. They're declaring themselves as niggers. Yeah. And they're doing their own job of segregating themselves, do you know what I mean, by using this word on themselves and by acting and, you know, being in certain ways. Thirdly, I'll leave that there. I'll let you mull over that, do you know what I mean? But then thirdly, right, it's got to the point where there is so much confusion around this word. Around the word nigger, there's so much confusion around it that I read in the newspaper a while ago that a guy, white guy, he got brought to court for using the racial term, for calling somebody a nigger. Basically, he's shouting it across the street. Somebody else heard him, called the police. Man got arrested, got brought to court. He got to walk from court free of charge, no charge whatsoever, nothing. Yeah, because he said to the court that he uses it as a term of endearment. All of his friends are black. They use it between themselves. He's an avid hip-hop lover. So he listens to hip-hop on a regular basis. He hears that word within hip-hop music. He hears it from his friends. And in his own situation, he is able to use that word and not suffer any consequences. So to him, he wasn't saying it with his intent wasn't of malicious origins, shall we say. He purposely didn't say that to cause offence. He shouted, "Hey nigger," as a term of endearment to what he is going to say is one of his brethren. And now, whether anybody else was there, do you know what I mean, to clarify the situation or back up his story or anything like that, I've not read in no newspapers, no black man turning around like, yeah, nah, that's my brethren, yeah, I call him nigger, he calls me nigger, it's all good, you get me? I didn't read nothing like that. It's just all centered on this court case. The man walked because the judge said that it has become, do you know what I mean, a term within urban slang. Urban slang. Nigger, a derogatory word towards black people, has now got to the point where it has become part of the urban dictionary slang. It is classed as slang. What the fuck is going on here now, man, people? Like, seriously, like it's got to that point. It's got to with grass. Thing gets me vexed, man. Right. What was I saying now? Yeah. But yeah, back to my point now, yeah. The very basis is the whole thing about it, right? That gets my goat, yeah, is right. If there's one last thing, yeah, in terms of racism, if there's one last thing that racist people will cling on to, is that word. They can't do anything else, yeah. So the only thing that they can cling on to is racial slurs, right? They can't do anything else. There are laws in place to prevent hate crimes from happening. Do you know what I mean? Not to say that they don't happen at all. Not to say that racism is dead. Do you know what I mean? Racism is alive and it's well, unfortunately. But all racism is words now. Do you know what I mean? The few that go beyond that and commit, do you know what I mean, assaults and stuff like that, you know what I mean, they will do. Justice does well. Blood clot. In terms of Zimmerman, yeah, I'm not gonna say that because justice has not been served, and I don't even really want to turn that into a racial thing either. Like that's just been forward. Like that's just taken over that whole situation. Really, it's an adult killing a child. Obviously there is a race element to that, but anyway, I digress. Yeah, the only thing that racists have is racial slurs, right? So old school slave masters, whatever, anybody who was a Nazi or whatever is still alive today, old, decrepit, can't do anything. All that they have left, yeah, is racial slurs. What I see that is the last shackle, do you know what I mean, that they can place upon, do you know what I mean, who they want to class as a slave or who they want to class as like lower than them. That's what these racial slurs are. They're the last shackles. Now, what I'm trying to say is, right, if you want to take the power away from something, yeah, the best thing that you can do, and this is in so many situations in life, yeah, cyberbullies, trolls, do you know what I mean, people that are just being abusive in general, right? Easier said than done, I know, but the best thing that you can do towards that kind of thing or them kind of people is not give them any blood clot airtime whatsoever. Ignore it. Why do we want to give this word such airtime, man? Why do we want to broadcast? Why do we want to make such a point of this word? Yet we're trying to take the power back from it. Blood clot, Kanye West and fucking Jay-Z, they name a track Niggas in Paris. Niggas in fucking, it's in the fucking title, fam. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And there's been loads of it. Niggas with attitude. Yes, I do fucking don't know. Do you know what I mean? But it was different. It was different back then. We was still like, well, not even we. I wasn't even born then. Yeah? I was not born at that time, and if I was, I didn't even understand Wagwan because my brain wasn't developed enough to really understand. What my point is right, that kind of thing was relevant to that situation in time. Okay, so hip hop being the voice of, you know, a downtrodden generation, a downtrodden society, community, race, shall we say, it being music of black origin. Okay, right? So that's why you had groups like NWA. That's why you had groups like fucking, do you know what I mean, Public Enemy, you know, the Welsh, the outspoken, Do you know what I mean? The controversial, the people that really wanted to make a point and really highlight what was actually going on, the racial profiling, the racial stereotyping, the police brutality towards, you know, there was a reason for that. Yeah. Now, yeah, it's not there. It's not there anymore. I'm not saying racism is not there, but that kind of environment, it's not big like that. The situations, yes, like oh, my brethren now, oh, in Tottenham, well, he's not my brethren, but still, you know what I mean, my man who just got shot by the police, do you know what I mean? There are situations, but it's not a massive. If you want to class Zimmerman in there as well, class Zimmerman in there, but there's not as many situations as it was back then. Do you know what I mean? Back when people are getting hosed down, Black Panthers are standing. That kind of environment and situation is not present today. Do you know what I mean? Because there are people that are trying to turn it around from that and bring positivity. Do you know what I mean? And shout outs to all the people that are on that thing still. But do you know what I mean? The ones that I just don't understand why nigger needs to be highlighted in any kind of way, shape or form, in any kind of example of trying to take any kind of power back from the racists from it. As far as I'm concerned, I can see bare racists sat inside their yard quietly, just like, yeah, they're just saying the shit to themselves. I don't need to do shit. They can call themselves nigger. I'll just sit here like, haha, laughing. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all I see. That is literally all I see from it, man. And if we're to really stamp out racism, yeah, we're to really stamp it out, yeah, and try and abolish it, let's not give it no fucking airtime. Let's not give it no airtime whatsoever. No, let's not put no spotlight on it whatsoever. And no racial slur, no situation is ever deemed an appropriate situation to use any kind of racial slurs. So things like Paki shop, do you know what I mean? Going to the Chinkies to get your Chinese food, do you know what I mean? Do you know all of that? Do you know what I mean? That like, don't call me a nigger. Don't do it. Don't call me a nigger. Whether you're being racist because you're a fucking racist. In that situation, just don't do it, man. Do you know what I mean? And if you do, I'm not gonna pay you no mind anyway, because that's what you want. That's why you're actually saying it to me, to actually get a rise out of me. And the best way to deal with that is don't give people what they want. If they want to get a rise out of you, don't give them the rise, man. Don't give them the rise. Smile if anything. Smile, man. Do you know what I mean? If you know about that story about the Ku Klux Klan member, yeah, who actually switched up now, do you know what I mean? From being a full-blown lynching, do you know what I mean? Niggas, you know, here nigger, all that kind of shit, from being a full-blown racist, hate black people, all that, to being a God-fearing, do you know what I mean, anti-racism campaigner, and he's the most redneck, do you know what I mean, stereotypical, do you know what I mean, racist, that even his speech, all you can hear from him is what is classed as stereotypical racism. Do you know, a stereotypical racist. But he switched up. Why? Because he kept going after a guy, yeah, a black preacher, do you know what I mean, a black pastor of a church, right? Every time he kept going at this guy, and he kept going at him with everything, burning crosses, setting fire to his church, do you know what I mean, mashing up his yard, do you know what I mean, insulting his family and friends. But this pastor, yeah, this guy showed this next guy nothing but love. He'd call him this, that and whatever. The guy, the Ku Klux Klan member would walk up, knock on his door. The guy would invite him in, offer him a cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? Does he want any food? Do you know what I mean? Pray for him. Dear Lord, please bless this man and please help him to stop being silly and having these negative thoughts and these evil thoughts within his head. And it got to the point where the man could not handle it. Do you know what I mean? And he had to just switch up. Do you know what I mean? He praised the same God. Praise the same God that he did. They both claim to praise the same God, Jesus Christ, all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? But from my man was showing this racist little idiot so much love and counterbalancing that negative energy with so much positive energy. Man had to switch up, fam. Man had to switch up and go next ways. And that's how we need to deal with it. That's how, if we're going to really change and trying to eradicate racism, yeah, that's how we need to deal with it. We need to just cut it out straight away. So I ain't going to call my fellow man nigger. Why? I don't like that word. I don't see no fellow man as a nigger, whether you want to use it in the actual stereotypical sense, or I've heard it being used by people is like, right, it's not necessarily a black man, it's just any man that acts stupid and does ignorant things and rare. That's what I class as a nigger. No, just stop using the word. If my man's ignorant and stupid, just say yes, he's ignorant and stupid. Yeah, it doesn't need a term that's been taken from somewhere that is absolutely horrible and being used for something else, trying to switch up the meaning and all that kind of shit. Just don't use the fucking word. Just cut it right the fuck out. The point that I'm trying to make is, right, at the end of the day, we're all created equal. Yeah, no man is bigger than the other person. No man is bigger than no other man. No woman is bigger than no other woman. You know what I'm saying? We're all intelligent. We all have the ability to develop intelligence. We all have the ability. We all know what's right and what's wrong. Obviously, people go through situations that they can't help. Some people are born into situations and life struggles that they can't help. But we all have compassion. We all have a sense of what's right and what's wrong, right? So, as black people, right, and I'm going to put this out there, I'm speaking specifically to black people. As black people, right, people associate the word nigger as stupid, ignorant, unintelligent, illiterate, either black people or people, if you're one of those people that use that word nigger, but with a different race or whatever, to class a type of person. Do you know what I mean? Right? If you act any of those kind of ways, ignorant, arrogant, you're a nigger as well. Right? To cover those bases, okay? Yeah? That's what people associate that word with, to attach to a race or a person. Okay? Why not prove them wrong? Okay? So, do you know what I mean? Well, why would you want to associate yourself with that anyway? Why would you want to be in it? I speak to some of my brethren about it. I was like, yeah, but we're all niggas innit. We're all just niggas in the hood innit. It's like, but we're not though. We're not just niggas. That's something that somebody else used to call us. That's not us. We're not niggas. We're black people. Yes, we are black people. We're resourceful. Do you know what I mean? We know our worth. We should know our worth. But it's almost as if we don't. And if you attach that word with yourself, then you're not accepting, or you're not believing in yourself and what you can actually be. You would rather be this stereotype. You'd rather be what people are calling you anyway. You know, oh, if you gotta call me a nigger, I might as well be a nigger. What? It just doesn't make any sense to me, man. Like, come on, you're just as intelligent as the next white, Asian, do you know what I mean, Chinese, Australian, Kiwi, whatever, Haitian, whatever. You are just as intelligent, just as worthy as anyone else. So why not, do you know what I mean, be that? Why not be a human being? Do you know what I mean? And have the opportunities and the drive that everybody else in the world can have, regardless of your situation. Just believe in yourself. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to be a nigger to be able to go down one kind of avenue, to be able to attain this. But I see people using that as an excuse, like, yeah, do you know what I mean? Me and my niggas. What? Even saying it. There's no one I've never heard a Welsh black person, me and my niggas. Do you know, you never hear that. Whenever anybody's spitting bars and they say niggers, they say niggers. And that just sounds like the American, even me saying it. Because I'm so used to hearing Americans say it, I just say niggers. It's not niggers. Do you know what I mean? Or nigger. There is no mank way of saying it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even you listen to every rapper that you've ever heard from the UK, and they say me and my niggers, or I'm a nigger, and they'll say it the American way. Why? Because it's an Americanism. I'm not saying it's not present in the UK, but in terms of it being involved in UK hip-hop, it's an Americanism. Stop saying it. And in terms of people that use it in everyday life now, with their brethren and this, that and the other, stop saying it. You're not a nigger. If you're a black person, you're a black person. You're just black. You're just a black person. That's it. You're a human being. That's the only thing that makes you different to anybody else. The colour of your skin. And that shouldn't even matter. It shouldn't. I'm not saying that it doesn't in this day and age, but that's what needs to be stamped out. Don't portray yourself as a nigger or as just a black man. Portray yourself as a righteous human being. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what everybody needs to do. We're all humans. We all have the same rights as everybody else. We are all on the same level playing field as a human being. Let's not add another limitation to us being humans. We've already got class. We've already got to fight politicians. We've already got to fight corrupt governments and this, that and the other. We've already got to fight so much. Why? Why are we letting something as skin fucking deep, because that's all it is. Why are we letting something like this be another common denominator in what rules our lives? If we're gonna wipe it out, let's just wipe it out. Yeah? Come on, black people. If we're gonna wipe it out properly, let's just wipe it out properly. Yeah? And let's just be human beings. Let's all of us just be human beings and just get on with life and make our lives better.